do that. We'll see what happens. Oh, we're recording. Oh, that's lovely.
God, isn't Cork? Isn't Cork great? Isn't Cork just brilliant? What do you mean? What we're recording?
Well, what we're actually recording right now is a new podcast on the Nerds Are Us. Well, video podcast on the Nerds Are Us channel. It's What We Watching, which is basically what we'll do is we'll talk about one movie and one TV show we have watched in the last week and what we plan on watching at some point in the near future. My name is Aaron, and I'm here today, or Jimmy Morris if you're inclined to call me that. And I'm currently with a good man named Brian, the horniest man I've ever come in contact with in my entire life. We were supposed to have Amy, but she's babysitting the fucking bitch.
She couldn't handle it. She knew. It's just like Brian's gonna be on it. Brian being on it is fine, but then if Jack Freedom comes along, it's just gonna be Splooge City.
So yeah, what have you watched?
Yes, I'm streaming Suits.
Oh, I do love Suits.
I'm on season 2.
Just
got to season 2. See, this is not a complaint. This is just a matter of fact of married life and long-term committed relationship things. I fucking love television, specifically television. I really, really into it. I like movies, but there's something about a series that just really sings to me. And I'm the picker in the house. It's like, right. We're finished that series. Do you know of any other ones? And I'm like, yeah, I could probably think of one or two. But then they become our series. I don't get series anymore because her series I hate. And my series, she quite likes and can stomach because she's actually, a nice person who facilitates compromise in our relationship. Basically, the only thing keeping us going. But
for any single people out there, that's generally how life kind of has to work when it comes to relationships. You have compromise.
Right here, the precious. But that's where, usually, if I really like a series, then I'll kind of watch it and that'll be it. But there is something to be said for watching it with somebody because you get that reaction in the room. And we get to talk about it, and you get to make jokes and references with, even if it's mates or something like that. So it is lovely. I love the fact that we're not all nailed down to the same time zone. You have to be watching it at this time, at this day.
Yeah.
You can say to somebody, here, watch one or two episodes this week and we'll have a chat. You can have a chat about it and everybody gets the memes and it's great.
Compromise.
Yes. Like the fact that, it's lovely that the amount of series we watch now over the years, we really have it down to a fine art of what both of us really like. And Suits, I think, is easily top 5, ticking all the boxes. It's smart, it's stylish, it's got really quick dialogue. It's in an interesting place. It's got an interesting backdrop, an interesting setting, and everyone's gorgeous in their own way.
Everyone in that show are right.
but not just as they're all easy to look at, but the actors are so fucking charismatic. I think I can't actually think of another series where I'd write all of them. All of them. They're all.
I'd like to point out, Amy said that this podcast would last about 5 minutes before we started talking about sex, and she was spot fucking on. If you take away the 2 minutes of me.
Oh, yeah. All right. I owe her a pint or a box of Maltesers or whatever the bet was. I'll chip in for it. But yeah, they're all such charismatic, fucking amazing actors with such range, and they can do the comedy, they can do the serious, they can hang on tense scenes, they can do it all. It's just,
I have to admit that Gabrielle Nacht fella is probably the best person in that whole show. The first, Jesus Christ,
dog doesn't agree.
The dog does not agree. He's probably the best one of the whole cast in the first couple of series. He's quite clearly, I think, the most seasoned actor of the lot of them. But they do eventually end up coming into their own, and that like they all end up bouncing off each other so fucking well by the end of it. There's like a big gap between how good they were in the first series and how good they are at the end. Like so, I did watch that originally when it aired.
I come like a lot of the series that I'm now watching were based on me sitting in with my man Dad and like just watching telly, and it's like, this looks kind of good, but I'm gonna go upstairs and play the PlayStation, or I'm gonna do my homework or whatever. Like I have something else to do, but this looks good.
Well, myself, I have been watching. Well, actually, I finished it off. Shameless, the American one.
Me wife watched both of them. I was in the room while a lot of them were on. I was talking to her about it, and I'm aware it exists, but the UK Shameless didn't do it for me. And then I had a brief look at the American one that didn't do it for me, but she was gripped. I
would go back to the American one if you can.
Like she
it
was
seems
great,
like it was William H. Macy as Frank is more or less the same as the English one for like the first 2 or 3 series, and then turns into an absolute skid mark in what we call Planet Earth. The absolute biggest piece of shit. Like some of the shit he's done in that series would honestly make it go, he should have been shot years ago.
But he still stays likable.
That's the best thing. It's just like through the whole series, like there's some characters that are kind of unlikable. Like Fiona's character stays in more or less to the second last series instead of the English one, where she, I think, checks up series 2. Her character gets very unlikable at the end. Now, that's partly down to the fact that she was very unlikable to the cast as a person. She got kicked out of that show. And she didn't leave because she wanted to leave. She left because I think it was more the cast going, either she goes, oh, I'm going to fucking get out of here because she's a cunt. But overall, it just, some of the characters are better written. Liam is much younger in this series starting off than he was in the English one. I think he starts off only like 2 in the American one, where I think he was like 5 or 6 in the English one. So he's more or less silent for the first 5 series, 6 series even. He doesn't really say much. Lip is, but that actor anyway is fantastic. If you haven't watched The Bear, I highly advise watching The Bear.
I tried watching it. It was all.
I got Amy hooked to it.
It was marketed at me, and it was marketed at me as a comedy. I watched first bit of the first episode, and I didn't laugh. And I went, right, well, maybe not now. I want to laugh. And I didn't. And I was in a make me laugh mood. And it wasn't tickling the right spot. So I was like, right, clearly it's probably very good, but it's a slow burner maybe. It's not even that it's a slow burner, The Bear. It's more of just it feels very real. See?
Do you know what I mean? And not in a bad way. Like my mum even said it to me when she watched it too. It's made with love. Much like the food in the show is made with love, this show is made with real love. It's like,
all right, I can get behind
the writer for it, whose name is fucking escaping me right now, and the creator knew what they wanted with this. The second season has got some cameos in and out of it, specifically the Christmas episode. Has just, every time the camera turns, it's like, oh, I know who he is. Oh, I know who she is. Oh. But I don't want to ruin it. And one of the best episodes of television I've ever watched is the second or third last season of the second series. I won't go into too much, but it's fucking phenomenal writing with a little cameo at the end of it that rounds it off so fucking well. You're just like, that's class. I remember watching it because I watched a lot of the TV shows that I watched during work. So I pause and play all fucking day. And when that episode was on, I won't get fired for this. I had technical issues because I could not stop it. I had to have technical issues for like 40 minutes.
You need to know. It was. I'm trying to think of like it depends on your genre. Like someone will say, "What's your favorite like show?" or well, like what are you watching is easier to answer because it's what you're watching. But favorite and quality and stuff that you can actually put your name to and say you really love isn't that easy because I watch a lot of television. And you have to go, well, what's your favorite comedy? What's your favorite like action? What's your favorite kind of this? What's your favorite that? Like it really has to be genre based because I just fucking love the medium. It's only after.
Do you know what ruined the medium for me? Right, and it was a Family Guy joke from 15 years ago, right? And it was just like, who's in that again? Who's the main one from the medium again?
Oh,
who's the main actress? Oh, is it Jennifer Love Hewitt? No. Anyway, there's a joke in Family Guy where there's like Seth MacFarlane's actually himself in it, and he's just like, at least we're not the medium. We're just running around talking to dead people. Awful show. And it just sets for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, I can't watch this anymore because if I do, it'll be the only thing that'll be on my head is that one joke from it was one of those like Family Guy episodes where like they didn't want to write anything properly that week, so there's Seth MacFarlane in front of a fire going through the best clips. That's it. That completely ruined the show for me. My mom loves it though, so I don't know how much for high grade that is.
I meant the medium as in the way in which we tell the stories. I don't know.
Right.
I was using my highfalutins and you were taking it literally, and I didn't even watch that show anyway. Oh
well, that's Jonathan. Cut that.
Something from me to watch.
I sound like a fucking idiot. So go on.
Natural comedy, my friend. Natural comedy. No, see, I get hyper nerdy about like television production and film production because it is what I studied in college. You know,
I didn't learn that actually myself. To be honest,
I fucked around for 3 years. I always say I went to college for foosball and I did communications and media on the side. So we had a fucking foosball table. We had two tables, but I played foosball like as a kid, a little plastic table, and I was like, we made a film about foosball. We made a film about foosball, a little student film about foosball. I brought my own foosball from home. That's how much I love foosball. But that's beside. We need a series about foosball. That's what I want. I want a series, but no, like
say to Jonathan, looking to diversify.
Know how they have animes about everything. Like there's name a thing. There's an anime about it. I want a foosball anime, and I'm not
in the vein of Shaolin soccer.
Shaolin soccer. There was if you love like ridiculous. I need to find it now. If you want to know, this is an awful series. It's awful. But my God, it's just if you can park your brain, it's just the weirdest thing. I'm gonna need to do some Googling. I'll do Googling. What is your film that you love? That is your film.
Well, I watched the film this week actually called The Corner Office. It's got John Hamm. It's got Abed from Community. It's also got, and the original notable actor from it is, did you watch Peacemaker?
Yes.
Remember the cop in that? The old guy that popped in like somewhere near the end. Do you remember who I'm on about? He's in it too. He's like his boss in it. It's a weird movie. It's an incredibly slow burn. But John Hamm's the main villain. He more or less narrates the movie as his inner thoughts. And it's basically he finds a corner office that is the most perfect office. He gets all his work done inside there. But the question of the whole movie is, does it exist? Or is he losing his fucking mind? And it doesn't explicitly tell you at the end of it whether he has or not. So you're going to kind of come up with your own like viewpoint. But personally, very enjoyable movie. But it is one of those ones, all right, that you're either going to like it or you're going to fucking hate it. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie.
Is it? Did you come out of it feeling fucked up or good?
I came out of it going kind of a mix of both. Like I enjoyed it, but I'm really questioning what I just watched.
Yeah, I can get.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. I would advise probably watching that if you haven't watched it, because it's if you like John Hamm and you like Abed.
In terms of feeling fucked up, on the scale of feeling fucked up, are we talking Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Oh, Jesus,
where are we? No, so not that fucked. Okay, get into that.
No, we're not sitting there contemplating life.
That's grand.
We're just sitting there going, I just really questioned the whole time, is he actually that crazy? I really questioned it, like, because they do it in such a way, and with his voiceover as well, and with the way some of the actors he bounces off of it, it's just sitting there going, this is really fucking good. He's funny in like he doesn't mean to be funny type way.
Oh, I'm into that.
He's very deadpan. The dialogue is very, very deadpan the whole way out. It's not meant to be like, this is a joke, laugh. It's more of just like, the situation is funny, I suppose. That's what I'm trying to say. The situation is funny. But I would highly actually advise that. That was really, really, really good. I think it's out streaming already on those pirated websites. We don't advocate for pirating websites here.
No. You only finding media via creative means. In theory,
yes.
In theory, everything is possible. Everything is probable, but this is definitely not possible. We couldn't. Galactic Soccer. Anyway, Galactic Football. Galactic Football was the series I watched. It is trash. I think it was on Cartoon Network.
But is it good trash in the sense of they made it with love and it just ended up being trash? Or is it just bad? Just bad?
It's really, really cringy. And it's basically football with superpowers. But they can only have the superpowers when they play football. But it's not even good superpowers. They just like build up their special meter by passing the ball around. But it's just, I want someone who hasn't seen it to tell me that it's good or shit, who hasn't seen it before, because it's in that weird pocket of my timeline of me experiencing it where I think it's really cool, but also very cheesy. But the bits that are cool, the bits about it that are cool outweigh the cheesiness.
Yeah.
So that's
I'll have to watch that. I got nothing to watch at the moment. The writer strike is really starting to hit now. There's no new TV popping up.
Oh, I've recommendations for days. That's no hassle.
I've watched a lot. If you have some recommendations on TV shows that I can watch and any of the reputable streaming sites out there, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflixes.
Give them your money. As long as you have that money.
Yes.
I'm fully vaping and vamping here just to, I actually can't remember the last film I watched. Top of me head.
Do you know what we'll do actually for the first episode, right? Because otherwise we're going to have about half an hour. It's going to be done. What have you watched? What?
I do remember my film. I've just
okay.
I asked my better half in all things. Barbie was the last film I watched.
Barbie was great.
I turned it off.
Really?
I turned it off right after, in and around when Ken took over the house. I was just.
Oh my god! I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved it. I know this is not going to happen. I do personally think Robert Downey Jr. is going to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in the Oscars. I think his role in Oppenheimer is nearly as good, if not better, than Cillian Murphy's. I think Ryan Gosling might actually do it because he was so good in it. You just want to give him a hug by the end of it.
See, I didn't get to the end, so I can't form an opinion.
Well, not even by the end of it, even halfway through it, it's just how stupid he is. Like, men is just horses and cowboys, and that's what the patriarchy is about.
It was nothing about the subject matter, nothing about the stylized thing, not even anything about Barbie. Hooray for feminism, all of that. Good all around. It was just the pacing. The pacing of it it was too slow. I just couldn't.
It did, do you know what? It did drag in the middle, right? But I think they could have done a better job. I think at with what's her name? America Ferrera's character. They could have done a better job of her and her daughter. It was just like, oh, they don't like each other. Stuff happens in the middle. They love each other now.
Now,
and that's
I
fine.
get it. It's not for me. Clearly.
Yeah.
Look at the head in me. I do want to see Oppenheimer. I guarantee that.
If you've not seen Oppenheimer yet, I would. Don't watch that at home. Watch that in the cinema. Just for the Trinity Project explosion. For that scene alone, it goes from being a race against time type thriller for the first 2 hours, and then turns into one of the best political thrillers I have seen in a very long time. I watched that in the square in Tala, and I just sat there the whole time going, This is his masterpiece. This is Christopher Nolan's masterpiece. I thought Interstellar was his masterpiece. No, it is fucking Oppenheimer. It was like the movie he always wanted to make. And I found out only recently in the last couple of hours as well. To simulate the atomic bomb, they actually did blow up a fuck ton of TNT to get the mushroom cloud. Mixed it in with a couple of other things. And then to get I thought the CG would have been the sound wave that blew off it. It wasn't. He did not tell the actors he had like a fuck ton of speakers to just blow at them when it went off. So fucking it was real. So their reactions when that the wall of sound hits them is fucking real. Yeah, I've actually got a great Instagram reel to send you as well. I sent it to Amy earlier. She sent me like 4 voice messages of just her laughing. It's fucking brilliant. But I was hyped for this movie anyway. The trailers made it better, and then when the news came out that he didn't do CG for this bomb. This is a bomb. He blew up a fucking bomb and used practical effects to make it look a whole lot better. I'm just like, that man set off a nuke, and I will believe this until the day I die.
I'm delighted. There's going to be crab people coming in the next film, and they won't have to have a mad budget for it.
It is kind of hilarious though. Actually, on a side note, that movie debuted in South Korea. Anybody knows either sort of political history knows that a lot of that area doesn't really like Japan. It is the highest grossing movie in South Korea's history that had Christopher Nolan attached. I wonder why.
Them local rivalries, man. I'm telling you, if you get a different, if we can do Corkenheimer or Dublinheimer. If you can get a local rivalry involved in a film or a series, you always stoke the fires a bit. You need the Blur and Oasis. Fucking dating myself. The Blur and Oasis, the sport reference versus sport reference.
Westlife and Take That. No. Yeah. The Boyzone and Take That. Boyzone and Take That.
Yeah.
Is it Boyzone and Take That? Or is it Westlife and Take That?
Boyzone and Take That.
Yeah, that lines up better. Westlife maybe a little bit at the end of Take That's run. It was well gone by the time Boyzone was gone. They started before Boyzone came out. I don't fucking know what I'm going to do. Let's just fucking get rid of that.
Didn't like Barbie.
I enjoyed Barbie. I got to be honest. I think although that meme that's going around with Cillian Murphy like that with his head. So he's just looking into the void. That's how Margot Robbie feels right now because she started a Mattel universe. Because you know full well they went $1 billion. Let's fucking go. I do want Greta Gerwig now to do a Supergirl movie. She would fucking hit that out of the park. I don't know if they're going to keep the same actress as they did from The Flash. By the way, The Flash.
Oh yeah. God
awful movie.
I've seen many versions of it.
It is only
opinions of it.
It only finished its theatrical run the other day. It just only made back its production budget. It did not make back. It did not make back the marketing budget. So usually when movies come out, maybe you know Spring. I'm just going to say the uninitiated. Movie has to make twice its production budget to make up for its marketing budget that goes along with it. It did not even touch its marketing budget. If someone said to me 10 years ago a Flash movie that had Michael Keaton in it would bomb, I've called you a madman.
They've shot their load too quick, DC. They've ran straight to the multiverse. They've ran straight.
They did.
Literally ran straight there. They just.
There was only 2 parts of that, but there was only a few things I liked. Right, I watched the Flash series. We're just going to we're just going to talk about shit that we just watched the last summer. Let's just go with that, and then the next time we'll do.
It's been done. We did.
It's been done. We did it. It's a half an hour we're gone. The next half an hour was about shit that we watched during the summer. I watched the Flash series. I love the Flash series. I watched it right to the fucking end. Cried a little bit at the end. And they did the whole premise of the movie is that he tries to change the past, ends up going into an alternate universe where he didn't become the Flash, and his parents are still alive. And then that version of the Flash becomes the bad Flash. Now, they did the same thing in season 3 of The Flash with Savitar, and it was done very badly. I did not particularly enjoy it. I know some people actually absolutely love that series, that season. I don't really. I thought it was very predictable once you kind of realised, oh, that's what's happening. But I did prefer how they executed this in this movie a little bit better. Because that Flash goes crazy because Michael Keaton's Batman keeps getting killed and Supergirl keeps getting killed and he keeps trying to go back and back and back, and time eventually ends up stabbing him. He had a cool costume, I have to admit. The whole thing, the movie itself was, but when they were going through the multiverses all crashing into each other, and they brought back the original Superman, Ben Affleck played him in a movie. Oh, what's his name?
Yes.
That was horrible. Not Christopher Reeves, the Superman before that, from like the 30s.
Oh, before. Oh, geez.
Yeah, that man hated that role that he did because he was just typecast as Superman from there on in. And they released that on the anniversary of his death, and no one can figure out who okayed it because he has no living family. So I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy the Christopher Reeve cameo. Did enjoy the fact that they brought back Nicolas Cage's Superman from the ill-fated Tim Burton Superman movie that never fucking came out. That was great. He also killed a big spider in it, so I also enjoyed that. And I enjoyed the fact as well that he goes back, Michael Keaton's Batman is the Batman, and then he goes back to the future, and he's like waiting for Bruce Wayne to come out of the car, and it's George Clooney's Bruce Wayne. And he's like, who the fuck is this guy? Brilliant. I laughed out loud at that. I did enjoy that bit, but other than that, it has not a lot of redeeming qualities. So what else I watched over the summer, actually? I don't know if you watch it later. If we're big into the superhero stuff.
No.
The 3rd season of Superman and Lois. I would advise it. If you haven't watched it, highly advise watching Superman and Lois. Oh my God. Almost too good for his own. It's this fucking What's happening there? Are you there? Oh, you're there. You spaced up. You froze up on myself there. Anyway,
okay.
So one of the best written Superman things ever, and it just shows how weak Zack Snyder's Man of Steel was.
Is it better than Smallville?
I never watched Smallville. I couldn't get into it.
Smallville.
This I could with
2000s crap. But again, there's gold in there.
With this, it's just gold. It's been 3 seasons, slowly getting better, and the 3rd season ended. Do you know what? Do you know what, Jonathan? Before I say this, put a big fucking spoiler warning thing on it. Alright? It ended with fucking Doomsday. Right?
Okay, that's how you do it.
So at the end of the 2nd season, at the middle of the 2nd season, Bizarro was in it. Okay? From a different Earth.
I love it.
Great. It was great, but he got killed out of it very quickly.
Aww.
But his dead body was used for the villain of the first, more or less most of this 3rd season, till Lex Luthor got out of prison and found him and realised he can't die. And every time I kill him, he comes back to life. So he kept killing him and killing him and killing him and killing him, and it became basically Lex Luthor's bitch. And it was much better than the Batman vs Superman, because I fucking hate that movie. I hate Batman vs Superman. This Doomsday was done so fucking well that he was basically his lackey, Lex Luthor's lackey. And the best scene of it is when he crashes down for the first time and you realise, oh my God, we have Doomsday. And he's not fucking about. He's in there and he's fucking just gonna batter Superman. And Lex Luthor walks away and he goes, don't forget to bring me his heart. It's like, oh. It's got who plays Lex Luthor in the season? Do you watch The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Remember Abraham from The Walking Dead? Gingerbeard.
Yeah.
He's playing Lex Luthor. His introduction, by the way, he got released from prison, walked from prison to Smallville to tell Superman, you better fucking watch yourself, you bitch. Your wife, your fucking sons, watch yourself. And he didn't watch himself, and he got Doomsday against him. So what was brilliant was they're having a fucking big fight in the street, and Superman thinks he's finally killed him. He spikes him right through the top of a building. It's like great. And then what's the song? Soundgarden's. I have it saved on my phone, and it's only recent as well. Give me 1 second there. It was Blow Up the Outside World by Soundgarden. Played. It slowly started coming in as Doomsday was coming off of the spike, and he broke it off his stomach and threw it down, and the two of them started whacking each other. It was phenomenal. And the last scene before it cuts off for the rest of the season is the two of them on the moon, and they're just about to batter each other, and it cuts. I'm like, you've set it up, ye beautiful bastard, ye fucking set up season 4 so fucking well. It was brilliant. I'm specifically thinking they wrote it that way as well, because they knew they were going to get cancelled otherwise, because the CW have just done a fucking roughshod over most of their superhero stuff. Like, but you can't end it like that, can you? You can't end it like this. This is just too tantalizing to end. So we're getting the death of Superman for season 4, which I cannot wait for. And considering the fact that they had his brother in it in the first season, in Tal-Rho, who was brilliant. And in the second season, they had Brainiac, they had the Square Earth, and they had the villain overall. But I enjoyed it. I think they'll do the death of Superman thing so fucking well. Like, oh my God. And it's not even, do you know what? These shitty suit special effects sometimes, to be fair, again, it's still fucking great for a CW show. Completely gets masked by how good the writing is. Because Lois in this season, if they said we're making a spin-off of Lois Lane, I'd go, I watch it. He's a fucking badass. And not in the whole, I'm a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist 50 times in a movie way. I mean, legitimate badass. She doesn't give a fuck. It's great. But go on,
my main kind of touchstone with Superman is the Justice League animated series, and that all that kind of arc, and that animated Superman and all of that. That's my main kind of thing of Superman for me. But yeah, like Lois doesn't fuck around in that either. Like it shouldn't be that hard to write Lois Lane as a character. She's more than just a journalist. She's like the journalist. Just like everyone who wants to be a journalist should just look at Lois Lane. Oh, I'd love to be her. And the Zack Snyder movies didn't do that well, because she just became a damsel in distress every time she was on the screen, which is not who she is. I do remember that. Yeah, you had me thinking of, I can forgive any CGI. Now, this'll scrape parts of your brain you haven't seen in a while, if you even saw them on Sky One. Did you ever watch Dark Angel? See, that's exactly the face you want. There you go. Now,
Jesus.
Yes, Dark Angel and Mutant X. They were.
Remember Mutant? Was Mutant X meant to be a fucking X-Men?
Virtually, and both of them had the fucking worst production ever, but I didn't care. I just loved it. I was an innocent child. Yeah. Anything after that has now set a standard. I will watch anything CGI'd. I'll forgive Anne, as long as you have people in tight trousers.
what was shite actually when it comes to superhero movies recently. Secret Invasion. God damn, it was bad.
I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out the MCU.
I'm getting that now was the first time that I've gone, oh fuck lads. I think you may have shot your load a little bit too early on this.
Thor did it to me. The most recent Thor film.
Thor was the start of it for me. Although I did like Ant-Man and Quantumania, I will defend that movie down to the ground. I think it's actually alright.
I'll probably get to it on some errant Sunday when I have nothing to watch and I'll remember it. It's a thing. But yeah, like I went, well, like everybody, we kind of went through everyone who really loves superhero stuff and Marvel especially was just like, oh my god, great. And now it's just everyone, I'm just burnt out with it. They're coming up with things that are just, it's like I'm done.
Look, they went, the biggest problem they have right now is the fella who was in there in between Bob Iger's two runs as chairman okayed too much things. Somebody pointed out there has been 22 different projects since the last time we saw Captain America. That's a lot of fucking projects. Since the last time we saw Anthony Mackie's Captain America. That was Falcon and the fucking Winter Soldier. Now,
which was?
I did like, which was great. Was probably the last really good TV show they had. Although I did enjoy She-Hulk as well. I took it for what it was.
I love the character of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
My main touchstone of Marvel is like that 90s animated cinematic universe with Spider-Man and X-Men and Daredevil and She-Hulk, Punisher. All of that that set the tone for me with all of that stuff. Because it was my first real, like, it was the only way. You can basically get me to watch anything if it's in cartoon form. Hence my love of Bluey.
Kieran in the distance going.
Oh man, it was.
I watched the one episode I watched of Bluey was with you and Foxy, where it was just like he's not fucking abiding to the rules of the road. I didn't look, but that's the thing with like series and films as well. You can never plan what you're gonna love, and you can never plan what you're gonna like. And I love the things that kind of this will say more about me than anything else. I like things that force me to like them, but I don't initially like it, but then I do. I get that somehow.
I will. For any of those who think me and you specifically are over-sexualized, you said coming twice and then whacking each other out of it, and we didn't make a joke at all. So fucking fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you, Amy. You're very civilized.
But yeah, like, the type of things that like I go in with like a half idea of this might be all right, and then by the end of it, I'm going, this fucking is amazing. I love this. I'm trying to think of the last thing that I watched. I was like, this will be like. And with kind of Disney mainly kind of catches me. Like I keep they Disney throws hands. Any Disney film I kind of go, like all the newer Disney films now, and you think, I've seen it before. Blah blah blah. It's all
the live action remakes I'm not a big fan of. I haven't liked any of them. They're the most obvious, like, give us money type projects. Go on.
It's great.
The original 1939 Snow White. Why don't you love the CG one? Like, come on.
A lot of trash going on with that now. I love it. I love it. They just made, they've pushed it too far.
I do love, do you know when what was it? The actress from it, is it Rachel Ziegler? I think that's what her name is. She made comments like 6 or 7 months ago about something else, and now right-wingers are snapping over her comments. I know I'm going to love this movie just because of that. Like I did with Lightyear. I think Lightyear is a brilliant movie. Turned to be gay after that 2-second kiss, like near the end of the movie. I'm gay now. My kids will be gay.
Yeah.
That's the reason I watched Lightyear, and I actually legitimately think Lightyear is actually not a bad movie, to be honest. I thought it was actually quite good. One of Disney's better ones in the last couple years.
one of actually, only for the fact he said gay, it has reminded me in the Venn diagram of something that I didn't want to enjoy, and it's also very gay. Heartstopper.
I couldn't get into it.
It's so cute. They're so adorable. Everyone's just so lovely in English. And like, oh, I really like you. It's like, oh, go on, kiss him. I find it interesting, especially given the amount of media consumption that most people have. I have proposed a theory that you either watch stuff to see yourself as you feel you are, or see yourself as you wish you could be. So I'll do both. In Heartstopper, I felt like the little brown-haired fella as a teenager. Awkward, fucking geeky. Oh my God, my feelings. Oh my God, I'm wearing a jumper. Oh my God, right? That was me. And then I'll also watch, say, the likes of the BBC Sherlock, and be like, that's me. I'm Sherlock. Look at me. I'm so clever. I'm great. Look at my hat. Where do you find? Do you go to, or do you find? Would you love something more that taps into that insecure part of you, or do you love things where you can have like pure fantasy ego trip? You know,
I can say that with two different TV shows. The whole insecure part, the bear, because I do actually legitimately like cooking. Could have been a chef. Could probably still be a chef. I gotta be honest. I love cooking. I love mixing shit. Gonna make mum. I know it's a couple of days late, but her birthday was due today. We're gonna make a lovely dinner for my mum's birthday tomorrow. Lovely gnocchi, bacon, pancetta and chicken with paprika pasta. Can't wait. And then when it comes to the thing I wish I was, The Flash. I wish I was The Flash.
I wish I was fast.
I wish it's not even the fast. I'm like, he's too good for his own good in the TV show. But that TV show that was the reason I was hooked from the get go. Because I think when that started, they had a little bit hard on me, all know. I was very depressed when that started first. So that's why I got hooked onto it. Never liked The Arrow, by the way. Never watched The Arrow. Couldn't get into it. Tried the first season. I tried the first season and a half, and I just went, I can't do it.
I saw clips and stuff, but again, Touchstone, Justice League, Green Arrow, and that, fucking adorable. He's a lovely, witty kind of man about town. I love that guy.
Well, I know I write more or less The Arrow from the CW universe. It's just, well, we can't have Batman, so
yeah, we'll have him.
There's the Green Arrow.
There's Green Batman. He's
respectable.
Yeah, like I. That's where like I'll be watching. So hence Barbie. I wasn't in Barbie. I couldn't find myself in Barbie. No character sang to me. No version of any character, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy either. There'll be female characters or female presenting characters. Ooh, how woke of me.
Oh God! Did you know there was a trans person in it? There was a trans person in it. She was in the movie. She never even said she was trans. But obviously that means she wants to be taking women's jobs now. Obviously. I know.
But yeah, there'll be like a character will really, really click because of whatever way their mannerisms or the way they go on. And that's you start rooting for the.
Do you know where I would say that for the Barbie movie is? I don't know if you got this far now. Alan. He's just Alan. Nah. He has a scene in that. Once again, Jonathan, spoilers. He has a scene in that you definitely didn't see, where he beats the ever-loving shit out of about 40 people that are like twice the size of him. It's arguably one of the best scenes in the movie because it comes out of left field. Because I think before that, all you see is the fact that he just goes high and he just does that weird dance. He's dancing like this. That's all you see of him beforehand. But at this point, he's like, I really need to get the fuck out of here because I hate it. Because he's more of like, Barbie's gay best friend, I guess, is how they're presenting him in the movie. So he hates all the macho Ken stuff. He's like, that's not me. I like the way everything was. But he just starts beating the shit out of a load of guards that by the end of it, it's like 4 of them left. And they all go, oh, the way I'll touch you. Yeah. Best scene of the whole movie. Well, all Alan, in a way, I think. That's where I really got sold in that movie, I got to be honest. Because Michael Cera was just... That was the best casting for that role. It was the best casting in the whole movie, arguably. If they went Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, I gotta be honest.
I'll take it that you have seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World, yeah?
You mean the paedophile movie, is it? Where he's chasing a 17-year-old? Yes, I've seen Scott Pilgrim versus.
That's fine.
I haven't. It's already out. Did it come out?
The anime thing is coming out of it. Just anytime I think of Michael Cera, I think that. I love stylized things. I love dialogue on the screen when it's all whooshy and it's just one of the best versions I've seen of that. Which kind of, I don't know whether released at the same time, but have you ever seen Stranger Than Fiction? Will Ferrell.
No. Oh, I have. Oh, I like that.
I love
it. It's a great movie. Great movie.
Like they're my favorite type of films. These like out of nowhere type of films that you just sit there and go, that was lovely. They're my favorite. Like did you ever see Jon Favreau, The Chef?
I love watching. I do. I have to admit, The Chef stuff where you've seen the actor in a bunch of things that like they're kind of like boxed into, right? And then they start doing serious roles, and you're just like, that took me by surprise. Another one is an Adam Sandler movie. I don't have to look for this because I need the name of it. Basically, Adam Sandler is a widow from his family got killed at 9/11 in one of the planes. And he got very sick over it and got very bad mental health issues, and he keeps fixing the kitchen because that was like the last thing his wife asked him to do was to fix the kitchen. So he keeps like remodeling the kitchen every couple of like he does it and then he's just like, I gotta remodel the kitchen. It's a great fucking movie. It's got Don Cheadle in it. It was the first thing I've ever seen Don Cheadle in. It's a great movie. Don Cheadle. Reign Over Me. There we go. It's got a 64% Rotten Tomatoes. It's a great fucking movie. It's a very good. It's one of my favorite Adam Sandler roles because it's not funny at all. It is a depressing.
So it's just like every other Adam Sandler movie.
Except I think after 2002. Before that, banger after banger after banger. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, the first Grown Ups movie. Oh, great movies.
I didn't want to like Grown Ups, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I probably appreciate it more now that I'm maybe
the first one is fucking. I love the first one. The second one's a bit, but you know what annoys me with that? That's with him with all of his mates. Not annoys me, sorry, it makes me a little bit like sad. It's a movie, obviously, with just him and all of his mates, just fucking about and spending $200 million on a movie. That needed what's your man? Chris Farley. When it comes to those movies where he does them with his mates, it's like, Chris Farley, you're the fucking you, Kevin Smith. Not Kevin. Is it Kevin Smith? No. Who's the guy who was in The King of Queens? Kevin James. Fuck you, Kevin James. You took Chris Farley's spot. Let's be real.
Kevin James does not lovely. And King of Queens.
He's fine. King of Queens is good, but let's be real. If Chris Farley was still alive, Kevin James wouldn't be in any of these fucking movies. He wouldn't have been a teacher who turned MMA fighter. He wouldn't have done any of that. That would have been Chris Farley stuff.
You mean he wouldn't have seen Paul Blart?
That would have been, let's be real. Imagine that with Chris Farley. That would have been a better movie.
The alternative timeline. Did you see any Kevin James's stand-up? He came by here. There's recent stuff of him doing stand-up.
No, I don't know he does stand-up anymore. Is it? Oh,
it's solid. You can't only because of that. I kind of went, no, I like him. He made his money.
No, he is good. He is good, but it's like there is a point where you could kind of point out, like, clearly these are the movies Chris Farley would have been doing, not you.
Look, I want Bill Hicks and George Carlin to come back. That's, the world we could have had with Bill Hicks talking about Trump as president. Oh my fucking God.
That would have been, actually, yeah, Jesus Christ, that would have been fucking fantastic.
Did you know?
I know Bill Hicks is the reason I already know about Waco. Because the first bit of stand-up I ever seen of him was when he was talking about Waco, and I got well into Waco for a while. It's actually a series about Waco that's got the girl who played Supergirl, Melissa Benoist, and Michael Shannon. Great fucking show. There's also a sequel series coming out of it, which is dealing with the aftermath and how the FBI made a little bit of a boo-boo with all of that, gassing civilians.
They're grand. I think they did a great job. Now that Adam Sandler thing.
Gas more kids, Brian says.
Yeah, you may as well. I need more places in schools for my son. That thing with Don Cheadle you watched, when was that? When was that released? Or when? Because you had me thinking now of the first time I saw Don Cheadle, and the first time I saw Don Cheadle was in Ocean's 12.
So it's 2007.
2004. Ha ha! I knew him before you did. Did you not see Ocean's 12?
I gotta be honest, I did. Cannot remember Don Cheadle in that movie at all.
He had an English accent. And he blew up stuff.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's like I suppose Rain Over Me is like the first one where I say that's when I started to like Don Cheadle. Because I think Don Cheadle's a very good fucking actor.
Stunning.
Very great. He's a great actor. Great actor. But that was the first.
I love actors when you see them and you go, I like this guy. Oh,
yeah.
I like him. Oh, another one I remember that I initially didn't want to watch, but I was curious about it. Tick, Tick, Boom, Andrew Garfield.
Best Andrew Garfield film that doesn't involve Spider-Man. It is so fucking good.
I know. I was like, I'll put it on. It's a musical. Me misses I like it. Like it. But I listen to them songs weekly.
I still have a couple of them on my phone that I go back on.
Oh, so good.
30. Is it 30? Is that the name of that song? That's a great fucking song.
Solid.
When he's celebrating his birthday, I think it's called 30, isn't it? Boho Days, another great song.
Oh yeah.
This is
so good, so stylish.
3090, Boho Days.
Banger after banger after banger.
Therapy is fucking great. Come to Your Senses is fantastic. Green Dress was great. Louder Than Words. Oh, that's a great fucking movie. I watched that New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
Now,
one of my favorite Andrew Garfield movies ever.
It's very much in the if someone hadn't seen it, it's very much in the tone of La La Land in a way. It's not stylized, but again, didn't like La La Land. Didn't want to like La La Land. I don't want to like anything with Ryan Gosling because I don't get why people think he's good looking. Apart from the neck.
Really,
Ryan. You're a millionaire. You don't care what I have to say, and your name sounds like my name. And if you ever see this, me missus loves you, and that's why I hate you. But I don't get it. I don't get it. You're lovely and you're nice. I don't get the frothing at the lips for him. He just doesn't do it for me. My type. I don't get it.
No, I get it.
What's the one? What's the bleeding the fucking rom-com one? That's the really fucking famous one he was in. Oh God! And they're in the rain and they're smooching in the rain. Oh God!
Oh, The Notebook.
Notebook. There you go.
Oh, I love the movie.
The Notebook. I did not want to like The Notebook. I didn't. Fuck me. I sat there going, I don't like this, but I respect it for what it's doing. Oh. Set him up.
There's another movie from that same.
Maybe I need to watch. I need to watch Drive. Maybe because people who watch Drive love Ryan Gosling more, and I haven't seen that. So maybe that's the film I need to see him in to really.
Maybe
To really get on the gauze.
All right. Okay. So by the way, I won't watch The Other Guys. Is it The Other Guys? The one with Superman's dad, Russell Crowe. So that one, I refuse point blank to watch that movie now out of spite. Because Twitter makes it out to be like the greatest comedy in the history of comedies. And I refuse to watch it.
Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
No, it's The Other Guys.
That's the other.
No, it's Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
The Nice Guys.
Yes, then I refuse to watch it out of spite. I will not watch that movie.
Haven't seen it.
Just because of the fact that Twitter and TikTok makes it out to be like the best comedy ever. And is there clips from it that I've laughed at TikTok? Of course there is. But I won't watch the fucking movie now. I might watch with Chloe someday. But the worst movie I've ever seen is another Nicholas Sparks movie. Because you reminded me of The Notebook. It's The Best of Me. Right? You put a gun to my head, you ask me what year or even decade that is set in, I could not tell you. The phones are from the mid-2000s. The setting feels like the 90s. The cars are from the 50s, and there's also greasers in it. I don't understand what's going on. And then at the end of it, who's the main actor from it? James Marsden, great fucking actor, by the way. James Marsden's a fantastic actor. I've liked all the stuff that I've ever seen him in. X-Men movies, Sonic movies. That's it. He gets shot in the shoulder. No blood comes out, and he dies.
Oh.
I remember when I watched that for the first time, my friend, she was my friend and she wasn't, now she is again. Vanessa, love you, Vanessa. I'll never leave you, live this down. I sat there and looked at her and went, did you make me watch a love story where the main character dies after getting shot in the shoulder? And she wouldn't let me watch Age of Ultron because it was shite. For as long as I live, will never let that woman pick a movie ever again.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
by the way, the Age of Ultron, good movie. I understand at the time it's probably the worst Avengers movie, but it's still a good movie. I only watched it again recently.
All right, I can go shitty rom-com for shitty rom-com. I wanted to get laid when I was younger. The worst one. And some of them, you can get into them and you can turn your brain on fine. And you can turn it off and on as needed. But Leap Year.
Did I watch that recently? I think I watched that.
Fucking god awful. Now, I have a particular hatred for things that do Ireland dirty. And I was really excited about it because they made this big deal about it being shot in Ireland.
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that one. Although that feels like a movie.
If you want to be angry, fucking watch it. I fucking hated it. I hated what they did to us. I hated what they did to my fucking culture. I fucking hated it. It was the usual bollocks. The usual fucking stroll along load of fucking shite and piss poor fucking bollocks. I hated it. I hated it so much. It makes me...
Do you know what movie makes me angry? Except for Batman versus Superman, which is my ultimate, we could do a whole podcast. And I once, without getting into it now, because I will start off on a rant that'll last another hour. So sorry, Jonathan, if that happens. I remember talking to Chloe, because me and Chloe, I live in Dublin. I live in Cork, she lives in Dublin, so we talk to each other every night, like couples do.
Soon, you will join us.
Yes, I will. Well, that's if I can buy a house, because we viewed a house. Chloe viewed an apartment today that didn't have any bids. The first bid was 40 grand over the asking price. So I was just like, Jesus.
Society is crumbling around us. Yay.
But at one time I was talking to Chloe about Batman versus Superman because something popped up and I went, yeah, that had Lex Luthor in it and he was like a bit of an idiot and Jesse Eisenberg played him, but he should have been the Riddler. Like, who makes Doomsday like that and then expects, what did he think was going to happen with Doomsday when he killed Superman? And do you know what else happened? And Amy Adams is a great actor. She was used as a damsel in distress. They did the Death of Superman one movie. I went off on one and she actually hung up me at one point and I didn't know I was that intensely into it. So we won't start with Batman vs. Superman about how much I hate that movie.
Nerd.
San Andreas. Oh, it's a nerd problem. San Andreas. It's about the fault line in San Andreas having a big fuck off earthquake. It's got The Rock in it. I was like, disaster movie. Love a good disaster movie, right?
Oh.
2012, one of my favourite binge watches. If I got nothing else to watch, I'll throw on 2012. Great movie. San Andreas has the dumbest rating I've ever seen in it, but does have Kylie Minogue getting sucked out of a building and falling to her death about halfway through. That's about the only redeeming quality of it, right? Because one, it was very random that I saw Kylie Minogue in a major Hollywood blockbuster. She's never really in those types of things. But The Rock's character in it may have been the most unlikable main actor is probably his worst role, considering some of the shit he's been in. But
More
by the
than
end of it, I
the
was like,
Tooth Fairy, but sorry.
oh no, at least in the Tooth Fairy, he's got something going for him. In this, it's just like, you deserve to die, you selfish cunt, you. He was an emergency responder in that movie. And so you think, well, the earthquake has hit San Andreas, California's, well, that's San Francisco, sorry, he's gone now. It's just wiped off the fucking map by the end of it. You should be out there trying to save people. No, he's like, fuck this, I'm out, I'm going to save my daughter. And fuck the laddie. His daughter, very likeable character in it. Everyone else in it, I hope they all fucking die horrible, pitiful deaths in that universe. Awful movie.
There was another terrible film where they were down in a hole and then they had to get out of the hole. And there was monsters. Yeah, I may come back to me. Doesn't matter. A good rock film that I didn't, again, this edged on so bad, I ended up loving it. Rampage.
Is that the other one with The Rock?
Yes.
I actually kind of enjoyed that. Because I thought I saw for what it was.
Just for the big monkey. The big monkey.
Yeah.
I love that big monkey. Oh,
it's a simple movie.
I cried over it.
That's what I love about
I cried over it.
Do you know, Jonas was great that I watched in the last couple of Meg. And I can't wait to watch Meg 2. Because it's a bad movie, but they do try and at least take themselves seriously. But it's got Rainn Wilson, Jason Statham, Ruby Rose. It's got a who's who of schlock. It's a great movie. It's a big shark killing people. And he dies with a harpoon to the eye. That's how it goes. It's fucking brilliant. Highly advised that if you've got 2 hours to kill it, you don't want to watch anything that like make your brain work. It's just like watch it for what it is. Great fun. Can't wait to watch the second one. It's got 13% in Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, that's 100% in my eyes.
You cannot say the name Jason Statham without talking about a film that, quite frankly, defined most of my adolescence. Crank.
Crank's a good schlock movie, isn't it?
Crap.
Great. It's
absolute crap. I loved it. Oh, such a Crank 2, even crankier. Oh, just terrible. I loved it so much. I'm trying to find that film about the people in the holes, but it's escaping me.
Called Holes.
No, I was some fucking film and people were in it.
Who was in it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I hated it so much. I was kind of magic-y, kind of. Oh, there was monsters, and then they ended up going to this other place, and I fucking, for the life of me, I just cannot. I'm trying to look at it. I think it was a book series or some shite or something or other, but I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter, but it's going to drive me insane until I find it, and when I do, I can send it to you. My main point is, I usually will not root for the monsters. I was rooting for the monsters in this. I fucking hated all of them. I was just, there was nothing about it. I hated that film as much as I hated the Eternals. And I watched the two of them kind of close together.
Okay, so we're going to disagree on something. I love the Eternals. Love it.
Just who? I hated them as a group. I hated them as a group. I hated them all individually. I hated them as a team. Very stylized and interesting, and there was some really good shit. Go on, Barry. Go on, Ireland. We had, he did really well, and it was some gorgeous bits. But as a thing, and I'm like, oh, here we go. The fucking I was super excited to see the Eternals because we're going into Galactus and we're going to all the bigger stuff in the Marvel universe. I'm like, oh, let's fucking go. And it was just a big watery fart. When you fart in the bath, that's what it was. A big bat fart.
I gotta be honest, I loved it, right? No, I'm not saying it's one of the best MCU films because it's not. It's not. because I have so many ahead of us. I think just personal preference. But I liked it because it was so different than everything else. You knew it was a part of a bigger universe, but it felt like it was its own thing. The only thing I don't like about it mainly is more the discourse after it, because you have that big thing coming out of the earth that looks like it's doing the Mac thing from It's Always Sunny. But it's now you just got a bunch of people going, why haven't they mentioned it yet? You tell me where that could have been mentioned. I fucking hate when people say that, well, there's a big thing coming out of the earth. Yeah, so who's going to mention it? What, did you want Chris Pratt halfway through the Guardians of the Galaxy going, lads, the madness of celestial coming out of the earth? Anyway, rockets dying. Oh no. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no place for it to pop in. But that's my only criticism of it, is that they left that at the end of it. And I know they're supposed to mention it eventually. I think the story to New World Order, Captain America, is meant to be based around that. Because I think it might have adamantium in it. So it'll be the set up for their universe as Wolverine. So I think it's meant to be kind of like based around that coming out and like villains trying to get it, and the fact that it's got the leader from the original Incredible Hulk in it is Marvel hitting it out of the park with that. That is a brilliant choice to bring back as a villain. Yeah, I mean, that's really
I have found the film. I found it. Love and Monsters.
Oh, is that not good? No.
It was. Look, there was. I don't like apocalyptic things because I don't know. Although The Last of Us, I'll watch a video game like I'll watch a film. The Last of Us is fucking stunning, but this one, just once you watch Zombieland, nothing else is going to be as good after that. And my main problem with it is it wasn't really funny. And look, you don't have to be funny. But when something is so egregiously no fucking crack whatsoever at all.
When it takes itself too seriously and it's not even that good to be taken.
It didn't even take itself serious. It wasn't even serious. Whatever way the trailers of it were, and I thought it was going to be a certain thing. It's expectation management for the most part is what'll do me in with most things. Is if I think it's going to be a certain way, and then it isn't. For the most part, like all the films that I adore and the series that I adore, I stumbled across them with no preconceived notion about them. And this one in particular, I had a preconceived notion about it. I fucking hated it, and I wanted the monsters to win. Love and Monsters. Come on, Monsters! Let's go, Monsters!
What other movie did I watch? Because me and Chloe are the same. We don't watch a lot of TV series just because we're waiting to move in with each other. So we're just gonna then the series will be done. We watch a lot of movies though. And remember there was like a point in the mid 2010s where you had your Valentine's Day and your New Year's Day and your New Year's Eve.
Yes.
All those movies. She made me watch those, right? Now, I also made her watch Eurotrip. Hasn't aged particularly well. I gotta be honest.
No,
it hasn't aged well.
Of its time.
The definition of its time. Superbad. The Superbad, on the other hand, has aged incredibly fucking well. A great fucking movie. I still love it. I think it's Jonah Hill's one of Jonah Hill's best stuff. I think it's all. I love the fact as well that he legitimately did not like McLovin on set. And when you figure that out, you're like, I understand. I don't think that was in the script how he was supposed to put half of his dialogue towards him. He legitimately did not like the fella. He was like, fuck you. But it was New Year's Eve and
that's now
Robert De Niro's character.
This is fascinating because that's where I drew the line with these types of films. And
right,
you know,
okay.
watching
so that has
this is my darkest timeline now. This is where I could have gone.
That has arguably one of the funniest deaths I've ever seen in the movie in my entire life. So, Hilary Swank is the daughter to Robert De Niro's character in this movie. And all Robert De Niro wants to see before he dies is the ball in New York City to drop them, right? One last time. That's absolutely grand. She brings him up, he sees the ball fall, and he dies. Lovely ending. It is heavily implied she walked out and left him up the roof. Because there's no scene where she brings him back down. There is no scene where she mentions it to the nurses, the doctors, anyone in the hospital that he's up there. So she just leaves going, that was lovely, and walks out. So it's heavily implied Robert De Niro's in the roof going.
Still there.
Just freezing to death on a roof in the middle of New York City. I'm willing to believe that that's...
I can fix it. He was eaten by Morbius. Got it sorted.
I love Morbius.
I haven't seen it. Really want to though. Really want to.
Do. But again, go in there with your expectations really low, and you'll fucking.
Yeah. See, they're the ones I adore those films when you go in going whatever, brains off today, and you watch them pure popcorn, and you just go, let's go, let's fucking have it. I know all the memes.
It's so good because Matt Smith in it is probably the best part. Have you seen the dance that Matt Smith does halfway through it? Have you seen the video clips of that? Look it up. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's fucking brilliant because it was like I know this movie's crap, so I'm just going to dance like a fucking idiot when I'm a vampire now. Fucking great. I also love the movie because it inexplicably breaks the rules of the MCU at the end, even though it's not in the MCU. So, do you care if it gets spoiled?
Oh, fire away. Do
you matter? Oh, fire away. Cool. Again, Jonathan, spoilers. The after credit scene has been slated because it happens after Far From Home, right? So remember in Far From Home, we got Andrew Garfield, we got Tobey Maguire, and they all came into this universe. Well, the same thing happens with the villains going into other universes.
Yes.
Most notably, Michael Keaton's Vulture. Now, yes. When Far From Home ends, it is heavily not heavily implied, it's heavily pointed out. Everyone goes back to their universes. Apparently, the rules did not apply to this Vulture, who just stuck around in Morbius's universe and shows up at the end of the movie going, trying to get a team together. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. And then it's just Jared Leto going, I'm in.
Like the Sinister,
crap.
Like the Sinister Six could have been just fucking brilliant.
It could have been, but this is like the worst way to go about it because it has. So my guess is it was supposed to be Kraven the Hunters. His movie was also supposed to be connected to it.
Yeah.
Some people have pointed out that he's now born before Spider-Man, to which obviously a bunch of people are going, which fucking one? You haven't told us which universe this is in. Venom, Morbius, Vulture, and I'm guessing another version of Doc Ock or Madame Web, the movie that's coming up, by the way. Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria is Spider-Woman. Without sounding like too much before her, for the love of God, put her in the suit. It'll sell $1 billion of tickets. But she's supposed to be Spider-Woman in that movie. I don't understand it, but whatever. Also, if it is in this universe, Venom 3 is meant to be the fact that obviously Venom now knows because he got brought back to his universe.
Yeah.
Peter Parker doesn't exist in his universe yet as a Spider-Man. So he's supposed to be protecting the baby of Peter Parker.
Oh, it's so stupid. I love it.
Stupid, right? It is. It's fucking awful.
I fucking adore Venom. I fucking love Tom Hardy. I love his. I watch his interviews. Just number one, what a babe. Number two, oh my god, acting. But
best answer ever, by the way, to a movie when somebody asked him was he bisexual. He goes, "Of course, I've had sex with men. I'm an actor." Best answer ever to that fucking question.
But that's where Venom. But I love Venom anyway. I love Venom and I love the whole
Yeah.
Venom thing and Black Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah.
But that throws up an issue with this universe. So if Venom is not in that universe, that means his movies don't mean anything. The Sinister Six makes even no more sense than it already fucking did, whatever they're trying to fucking build on that side of things. So who the fuck is the Peter Parker that tried to kill? Because Tobey Maguire ain't fucking showing up for this movie. He is not doing a full Spider-Man movie again. He is doing bits and pieces if he wants to. Let's be real. If Tobey Maguire said, fuck off, I'm not doing it, you just listen to him and just move on. Yep. Andrew Garfield may do it. I would like his version of Spider-Man to be the Venom for a while.
I mean, just
because
he's
already angry enough.
The press junkets with Tom Hardy and Andrew Garfield together would just be adorable, I think.
It would be great. But his version of Spider-Man as Venom would be great because he's already angry enough.
Yeah, he's very
after
cranky.
what happened and stuff.
Yeah.
So it would be a great version of it. And it's not going to be Tom Holland's one because that wouldn't fit in with the universe, obviously, because Venom isn't in the fucking end. Well, he might be when Tom Hardy went back to his universe, there was a little bit left over at the end of technically. So yes, there was it was a little bit. So I'm guessing that'll happen in Secret War.
There's so much in there's the YouTube channel Comics Explained.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking adore that thing. It's giving me so much knowledge, nerdgasms. Learn me so many. There's a fucking amazing video about Venom and the universe of Venom and everything about Venom, and it's just how ridiculous do you think Venom could be as a character? Yes, it happens.
Oh, I can imagine.
And it's so silly.
100%.
So silly.
100%. Because it's one of those characters, I think, even in my head, is like, you could do a whole lot there. Yeah. Just off the fact that he can't technically die. Yeah. Can you kill Venom? I don't think you can kill Venom, can you?
The way, I'd say if you separate him long enough and starve him, and who's to say? Ultimately, no, because of reasons. But that's where I again didn't really like the dynamic between Venom and Eddie, and then it just slowly but surely grew on me, much like a symbiote.
Yeah.
And then by the second film, I'm like, these are my best friends. I love these guys.
Yeah.
So much. And all credit to Tom Hardy for playing both. Like it's so lovely. Just the voice of it. Mm. Just the Eddie, come on, Eddie. I'm like, you know what? I may have heard that voice in my head one or two times, and I think, I recognize this. Come on.
Right. I've just realised the time. So what we'll do is we'll leave it there, folks. We'll leave it there now, folks. It's been a great episode that went. Jonathan, God, I'm so sorry with the barking dogs and my mum coming in and out and me nearly getting bit. You're going to have to do a fair amount of fucking editing on this.
All right. Me and Jonathan had a little chat when you were gone one of the times. We had a lovely conversation. Also, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Here's a recommendation for you.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I actually wanted to watch that and I forgot about it. Thanks for that. That's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that Netflix, yeah. Cool.
If you don't mind
another thing,
if you don't mind it being produced by someone who's problematic, but there you go.
Who's it produced by?
Max Landis was the screenwriter.
Oh yeah.
I love that man.
Yeah, he's gone beyond problematic at this point, but we won't get into that. Just before we end this, my name has been Aaron. This has been Brian. And Jerry Soul, ladies and gentlemen, said he hates Cork. But on my phone in this, he said he liked Redbreast whiskey. Where is Redbreast whiskey brewed, you may ask? Cork. So he does like something from Cork. So as long as Jonathan keeps that in, Jerry likes something from Cork. Anyway. I don't know if you froze it a couple of times to me, so I don't know if you actually froze there for just even a second. It just stuck in your going, acting! So we'll end it there now, folks, and we'll be back again. I'll probably try to do another episode of this in about 2 weeks after AEW. All In, which I'll talk to Brian about that afterwards. All right then, well, enjoy the rest of your night, folks, and bye. End. Fucking end.